Propaganda works best when those who are being manipulated are confident that they are acting on their own free will.
The law of unintended consequences remains in force in Washington tonight. An investigation designed to uncover Republican collusion with a foreign power has unearthed just the opposite. We now know that the most powerful Democratic lobbying firm in Washington was at the very center of Russian efforts to shape American politics and policy. The Podesta Group, founded by Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman and his brother, took money from Russian interests to influence the Obama administration and Hillary Clinton's State Department. It turns out there were indeed Russian agents in Washington. They were working with Democrats.
A lie told once remains a lie, but a lie told 1,000 times becomes the truth.
Meanwhile, we have also solved much of the mystery around the infamous Trump dossier, that collection of salacious and in many cases totally made-up allegations that BuzzFeed credulously ran earlier this year as a news story. The dossier was assembled by a former British intelligence agent called Chris Steele. Steele was originally paid by a still anonymous Republican donor who was hoping to undermine the Trump campaign during the primaries. We've known that for a while.
If you tell a lie big enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it.
But what we've just learned, and what has turned this story and Washington itself on its head, is that once the Republican primaries finished, the Trump dossier project was funded by Hillary Clinton's own presidential campaign and also by the DNC. Democrats have been lying about that explicitly for more than a year, but it's true, it turns out. Former Clinton campaign spokesman Brian Fallon acknowledged that Hillary herself may have known about the decision to fund the Trump dossier.
Just to be clear, Brian, you have said previously in the last 24 hours you don't believe Hillary Clinton knew about this either. Is that right?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't spoken to her. No.
Okay. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
Shouldn't she know? Shouldn't you, someone so high up in the campaign, be informed of this?
Well, I mean, she may have known, but the degree of exactly what she knew is beyond my knowledge.
More shocking, though, the FBI apparently may have also paid Chris Steele to dig up dirt on Trump. How did they do this? Why did they do this? We still don't know, because so far the FBI has ignored subpoenas sent to them 2 months ago by House Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes. We'll be talking to him later in the show. All of this raises some serious questions.
They can never hide the truth, no matter how hard they try. There will come a day when all the lies will collapse under their own weight, and the truth will triumph again. Joseph Goebbels. If you tell a lie big enough and keep repeating it, people will eventually come to believe it. The lie can be maintained only for such time as the state can shield the people from the political, economic, and or military consequences of the lie. It thus becomes vitally important for the state to use all of its powers to repress dissent, for the truth is the mortal enemy of the lie, and thus, by extension, the truth is the greatest enemy of the state. It is screaming at people in the face. CNN, New York Times, all of them should be seeing this, but they can't see the forest for the trees, because the real problem is they don't want to admit to you, they don't want to admit to the liberals that the reason why Trump won is that this country for decades has been divided evenly, that it was always going to be a close election. At no point did any poll ever show a landslide victory for Hillary Clinton, and yet all of them kept confidently during every primary and even up until the night of the election that Hillary Clinton could not lose, that Trump could not win. At every step he proved them wrong, and they still could not get beyond the fact they just couldn't believe it. So they tried to make a prophecy turn into reality. That's the truth. Now, whether or not there is any ties with Russia and Trump, I don't know. I will guarantee you, though, that Trump was his own worst enemy. Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump did more damage to their own campaigns than they ever could have done to the other person. What really caused this election to go haywire is the media insisted to a divided country that Trump could not win. At every step of the way, it was screaming a close election, and they just couldn't face it. And now that they realize just how messed up they were, and how messed up Washington was, and how much anger there was at the last 8 years of being treated as if we're the problem, they're now having to actually hide and demand that there must be some collusion involved. That's the problem that's going on. And until they admit this, nobody is going to trust anything they say. But they don't want to admit it because guess what? The Republicans are already not listening to them. The conservatives aren't listening to them. It's only liberals that will.